Welcome to the Cadence Spotlight. My name is Hailey, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Event Cadence. We created this series to shine a light on our client-facing team and some of the work they do to create extraordinary experiences for our customers. Today, I am sitting down with Shannon Weldon, one of our account leads, and she's also a Congress specialist. Let's get started.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Hailey.
I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our audience here, maybe your title and how long you've been working here.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Shannon Weldon. I am a account lead and Congress specialist lead. I am just coming up on my 1 year almost at Cadence, which is great. I know it's crazy. Yeah, so I've been doing the job for a couple of years, but switched over to join Cadence team last year, and yeah, couldn't be happier.
It's going to be interesting because the interview I had before this was with Marie, and she's been at Cadence for 6 years. So I'm interested to see if there's any alignment and how your experiences will differ to the answers of the questions between the 6 years and the 1 year. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get the first question going. So I know you've come from some other platforms and agencies, so I feel like you're a really great person to answer this question. So, when teams are evaluating event and engagement platforms, what do you think makes our platform, the Event Cadence platform, the right fit?
Yeah, it's such a great question. Honestly, the right fit for the client is actually the same reason that it was a right fit for me. It's the time saving. I can't believe how much time that I've gotten back in my schedule from sheer automation, from just the things that technology can bring when it is streamlined exactly to tailor the needs of exactly what we do, right? So making sure that everything can connect is something that I didn't know a platform even had the capability of doing until I started working at Cadence, which is fantastic. So instead of keeping everything separate, it is all in one. And because of that, doing the work once as opposed to a sheet here, a location grid here, outreach and email here, and then calendar invite here, instead of all of those steps being separate, it's all together in one. So it's really refreshing. And also, it just saves a ton of time. So, both for the client and for the team that's doing the work, it is, in my opinion, the same answer. It is a no brainer.
It's so true, and you really can't undervalue time saved. I mean, it so many of our features are built around that. And I love the way you framed it too, that it's the time saving across the board. Everyone wants more time, we're trying to get you out so you can see your kid's soccer game or whatever it is, however you want to spend your time, giving people more of it just can't be undervalued.
Definitely.
So, do you think that's what our clients love most about Event Cadence? Or is there something else that you hear more often? Or what are some of the things that our clients love about Event Cadence?
Yeah, I definitely think the automation is we can kind of bucket it into, I think, two groups. One is it's the relationships, right? You want to work with people that you love, that you like, that, when we're on site, it's always really important that you have a great relationship across the board. So that is a huge part. And our entire team, well, obviously, we are across the globe and we have a really, really great on-site presence. We're fun. Honestly, it's just a great team. I'm so happy and proud to be a part of, and I know the clients do too. Because when you see even the ones that you're not a part of, but maybe you see your coworkers and their clients, you can kind of see that. Oh, okay, great. Like everybody just has these really great pockets of collaboration with their clients, and that relationship obviously is huge. And I think that relationships can never be replaced. So that is definitely a huge piece of it. And then the other part is the tech, right? It is that time-saving piece. It is the clear and concise way in which we not only plan, but then we execute. So I think that those two together kind of make a match made in heaven. And honestly, as soon as once you give us a chance, I think that you'll stay.
It's so good how you put it, the match made in heaven. I could not agree more. Especially when you're working in events, it's long hours, it's weekends. So why not work with people that you enjoy spending time with? We're all there at 7 in the morning, ready to go with smiles. That's helpful. They're people that you want to spend your time with too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you talked about the people as the one side, and then the other side you talked about was the tech. So I think it only makes sense next to talk about our platform a little bit. So, from your perspective, is there one thing that our platform does exceptionally well that maybe the clients don't realize at first, but then once they do, they could never go back, kind of thing?
Yeah, and actually it was even for my first Congress working with Cadence, I didn't even realize that I got the time back of it until going through. So everything that used to be manual work for me, I didn't know that I had got back automated until I went through at least one Congress cycle. And that was really the buy-in, right? So obviously outreach and that planning is always about the same, right, for everybody. And that would, and and that kind of looks like gathering lists, getting all of your ducks in a row, whatever it is that a client needs, just getting that planning perspective ready to go. And then the execution, which is what we take over, maybe the clients don't see how much value is in that outreach because, right, that's what we're here for. We're doing it for you. But for the outreach, when we get everything going and we can, before the Congress, have everything really solidified and planned, I've never seen so many clients have at least 2 weeks prior to the Congress having almost their entire agenda solidified. Having that, starting early is really beneficial, not just to start early and have that, but so that you can have your entire schedule locked in and not racing up until your flight to really get things figured out. So those little things of the planning take a lot of stress off of not just the meeting planners and the planning team that we're working with, but for us, right? I want to know my schedule beforehand, like for whatever event that we're talking about, and our clients do too. So that pre part, I think, is something that's really nice that I've never seen prior to Cadence, is having that really locked in schedule. And then from that, you have that stress free. You're like, oh, I'm getting that last week. Like my kids are getting settled. I have to do all the little things I have to do before packing. And I don't have to worry about who I'm meeting with, where, if they need to reschedule. The automation, even just with that, is really important because that's a huge, huge time saver if that has to be manual versus it being more automated. And then, of course, on site, that execution is still, roughly the same. Maybe the clients don't see the seamlessness that we do because we're the ones who are, at the desk and getting everyone checked in and doing keeping all of the timetables and everyone on schedule. But the day-to-day automation of just keep making sure that everyone knows how to get where they need to, knows when and where, those little pieces that we add, I didn't know until working the time I got back on site, ensuring all of our clients and the customers and that they're meeting with, how valuable that time back was. Because before this, it was all manual outreach. It was all manual, and having that is on site is invaluable.
That one source of truth is so important. A lot of times when we're working with customers or clients for the first time, they're coming to us with a number of Excel documents that they've been sending back and forth. And you always have the wrong link. And then someone's texting their KOL, and that's not tracked in the email. We're not CC'd on that. So all of that just goes away, like you said. One source of truth, streamlined approach. And then you talked about pre event, during event. Something we didn't even get into is that post event. So all the work that you have the event cadence staff or your staff on site checking people in, now that's built right within the platform. And it's another piece of the pie. Now you're not chasing down metrics. They're right there for you, and you have those valuable insights.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that the post Congress and even like during Congress, having those metrics, those analytics at hand, even just being able to filter it as easily as you need versus having some of the charts and tables that you would need on a daily debrief. Having that with automated and not having to create something saves again so much time that you on site really don't have, but you have to prepare for your debriefs. You have to prepare for everything that you need, depending, of course, on client needs. So that is so invaluable, and being able to have those sources of truth, not just for the check-ins and like the in the moment, but also why everyone's there, right? It's the insights, it's the data, it's why are we here, what are we doing it for? And data is the only thing that we have post Congress to be able to, kind of prove how well everything went. So it's really, really valuable. Yeah.
Totally. You can make those informed decisions. So I would love to know, maybe now that we just talked about it, can you think of a recent event or congress or engagement example where you saw some of this play out in real time?
Yeah, actually, we had a really, really great, very big respiratory congress last year that went really well. And the reason being is when we're on site, the final pieces kind of fit in throughout planning, right? Because it's that full cycle that you really need for that intense buy-in, honestly, that even I had, not just for our clients, but when we can really show those pieces of this is where we can remove Excel. This is where we can remove spreadsheets, right? This is where, not that they don't have a time and place, but it is a static done at the very beginning of planning that we no longer need a spreadsheet. And then from here on forward, we can use one source of truth, as you had mentioned. And when we're on site, it's particularly at the Congress that I was talking about last year, what was so wonderful is to see, oh, even when they were on site, how they were still utilizing a spreadsheet to collect, not just to collect insights or data, but for those check-ins, something as simple like the little things that were automated that we had, and everything that comes with the check-in, right? Who's present? We swap people in and out. We have that are available. Someone gets pulled into something else. Maybe the objectives need to change based on the people who needed to swap in and out that quickly. So there's a lot of moving pieces that then would need to be updated within a tracker of some sort that just no longer need to happen. And that version control can get quite chaotic, especially if everybody has access and editing capabilities and you do not know who changed in your meeting. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was this, that, and the third. And all of that is really, really, really hard to track within a spreadsheet, because if there's 200 people who have access to it, and everyone's working at the same time, and it's the only source of truth that is had, the chaoticness and the messiness honestly snowballs. So seeing that on site completely disappear, and the relief that the client had of knowing that was no longer a burden that they needed to honestly worry about, was that aha moment that felt really great. The saying like, this is the added piece of what can be removed, and then your time saved, but also that confidence in the tech that what you need and what you were trying to achieve with a spreadsheet is still here. It's just automated.
It's just better. I mean, no more double booked meetings. I mean, I imagine that's just the worst feeling when you have an important KOL HCP, you're walking up to the room and the room that was supposed to be open for you is taken because an old version of the Excel document has been used. You want to show up well to the HCPs. You've invested a lot of time, energy, money in this. So you should have a platform that matches that. And that's Event Cadence.
Definitely.
Great. So we talked about a lot of different features at large, but maybe could you shed some light on a specific feature that you love to walk our clients through, and explain why it resonates strongly to them?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure this has to be so many people's favorite, but our appointment feature, being able to collect availability, but not just for one HCP, if we needed to collect availability of multiple, and being able to select all the date and times that maybe work for everybody, and then we can decide on the best fit that everybody has that overlaps, when choosing a date and time to meet in case there are more than one HCP. It's unbelievable. I just can't believe how it feels like it was a layered of so many different incredible pieces of tech that we use in our personal lives for many different reasons, all consolidated and layered into one. The feature is really one in a million, and it also gives the clients the onus to say, hey, we could do the outreach for you, right? And we can have all of the available dates and times, not just within our meeting rooms, but within your schedule and your calendar. And again, depending on the client, we can have the Outlook integration so that you don't have to give us your unavailable times, right? That is such a time saver for people to not have to say, well, I'm not available here and here, which we can obviously do, but having that added piece of automation gives so much time back for everybody. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then if they want us to do outreach, that's fantastic. And some people would like to maybe have more of a texting relationship with their HCPs, or they have a more personal approach that they'd like to use. Not a problem, right? Everything that we have, all of our links can be shared via email, via text, via whatever your preferred method is, which is really great because no matter how we want to customize it, it's still all tailored into that one centralized source of truth, as you had said.
That's a great distinction you made. And I just want to hone in on this point that our platform is extremely customizable. And that's why, you're paired up with someone like you, someone like Shannon, to investigate what makes sense for our current workflow. You can start small, and build up into all of the features too. It's not an all or nothing, a zero sum game. You can really customize it, and not even just across an organization, across teams too. So there's a lot of tweaks you can make to make it work for your workflow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So, just a couple more questions here. What's something about the Event Cadence team that clients might not always see behind the scenes, but that you think makes a real difference in the end?
There's so much here. We're incredibly collaborative together, have a really high bar, but also really, really flexible as well. Like, I can't really say anything more than we're just happy. Like, I know that that seems like the silliest, like simplest answer, but that's just the truth. Like, I rarely have ever worked with a team that so many across the board are genuinely happy. And it's not to say that there aren't times that you get stressed because hey, it's before Congress and and you're working a little bit longer, right? As we do, we have things, flights get delayed, things happen that you're out of your control. That can be frustrating for sure. But you know, as a whole, it's so great to work with a team that is not only so committed to rigorous, great work, and when game time is on, we're on, but we genuinely have a great time together and a happy team.
It does make such a difference when the people around you are happy. It lifts your spirits even in the bad times. And people really care too. And that's something that really stands out to me. We care about each other, we care about our clients, and all of that works together.
Yeah.
And maybe this is actually tied into my last question, but could you share something, headed into February, the month of love, something that you love about your role or about working at Event Cadence? Is it that collaboration? Maybe it's something else, or maybe both. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I couldn't be happier working here. It is a beautiful collaboration. I think we just have a really strong team, which is great that we're only getting stronger. We're completely unoffendable. We have such great thick skin, as somebody who had such a background of being on teams, right? Like and playing soccer my whole life. It was so beautiful to feel like even if people didn't play sports on their own, it just felt like we have that athlete mindset that is so beautiful because that team dynamic that you get from whether it's sports or whether it's being in a band, like whatever from your life, that you have that team unity background really shows through, and in a way that it doesn't matter if maybe you don't work with somebody as closely as somebody else. When you reach out to them, when you talk to them, when we have meetings together and for that collaboration, it feels like you have and you have been, which is so great. We have a really, really strong team that I love. We're growing, we're getting bigger, and we're continuing to add, and just it's a lot of A players. I don't know anything more than then we have great team players that will always go up to bat for, and I can't really speak more of how happy I am with the team, and that not only the collaboration, but that extra care that you were saying. We really care. There's those little things and little touches that our team does, whether it's in times of maybe some sad times that are going on in personal life, and what the team can do is great, and some really joyous times. It's all across the board, and I'm incredibly grateful. So going into the month of love, I definitely have a lot in my heart for our team.
Well, I feel so incredibly blessed to be on your team. It's totally that sports analogy. I loved it. It's that camaraderie. We feel it. And thank you for your time today, Shannon. It was so great to get your perspective.
Thanks so much, Hailey. I really appreciate it.
And if you're listening to this and interested in learning more about Event Cadence, you can head to our website, eventcadence.com. Thanks.
Thank you.